Hi, my name is Jean Gousaard. Next to me is Raphael Dixon Kwom. He's my gardener, and he's not just my gardener, he is my brother's gardener for the past 12 years. He's not just our gardener, he works for multiple people during the week. And what I have now found is that Raphael, in conversations we've had over the past couple of months, I found out Raphael is turning 66 next year, the 2nd of January. And we figured out that Raphael needs to go back home to Malawi, where he's from. Where in Malawi are you from, Raphael? Where were you born?
My name is Raphael, as you said. I was born in Chiolo district, Tekelani, south in Malawi.
Okay, it's close to Blantyre?
Yeah, it's close to Blantyre, 100 kilometers from my home to Blantyre.
Okay. So Raphael has been growing up for most of his life, his young adult life, and then you came to South Africa in 1980?
Yeah, I came to South Africa in 1982. I was working in gold mines.
In the gold mines in the Orange Free State?
Yeah, Orange Free State, Harmony Gold Mines.
Harmony, okay. So Raphael worked for the first 7 years in South Africa in the mines, and then from there his contract finished up and he got a work permit to come work here in Cape Town. And you've been in Cape Town for 17 years?
Yeah, I've been in Cape Town 17 years as a garden boy.
As gardener. Okay. We realized that Raphael is not getting younger. And as you get older, there's no reflection on you, my friend. I know you're strong. But you can't work in the gardens forever. So what myself and my brother talked about, and we had long discussions with Raphael, is to say, we want to get him back to Malawi. Back to his village, back to his wife. Now your wife's name is Yolita.
Yeah, Yolita. My wife's name is Yolita.
Right. You've got 2 children, and both of them are in South Africa also.
Yes.
Okay. And then you've got grandchildren also in Malawi. How many? How many?
There's 5 grandchildren.
5 grandchildren. What's the last time you saw them?
So 4 years ago. I saw
4 years ago?
Yeah, wife and grandchildren.
Okay. We tried getting Raphael back in COVID. It didn't work. There was a drought, and you had to come back to South Africa. Yes. And that's a sad reality. Raphael, unfortunately, the money that he makes on a daily basis, he uses for living, but most of it he sends home to support his family. And we want to change that. And we want to send Raphael home so that he can start his own farming business. He is he's very good with farming. We grow vegetables at our home. Raphael, I've now spoken to a lot of people, and I've done my research. There's a course in Malawi that we want to send you for training. It's called Foundations for Farming, Farming God's Way. And it's a 14-day course to teach Raphael, or anybody for that matter, to farm on a very small piece of ground, 39 by 16 meters. You can sustain your family for 1 year with a yield from there. So whether it's maize or bean or whatever the case may be. And we want to gather money to send Raphael on this course firstly. The second reason why we're making this video is that Raphael will need some support along the way. Firstly, we have to get him back to Malawi, so he needs money for transport. We need to buy him transport when he is in Malawi, so he can go back and forth from his home to his piece of land that he has, or rents, or whatever the case might be. That's the other thing we need money for. We also need money for irrigation pumps, something that works with a solar panel, because in the village he stays, there's no electricity. No electricity. So we need some kind of a irrigation pump to help him irrigate his land once he does the planting and so forth. Yes, there's rainy season, that helps a lot. But in the meanwhile, he's going to miss rainy season. He's going to miss plant season now, eh? It's too late now.
Yeah, it's too late now.
So you have to wait till next year.
Until next year, yes. Okay.
So there's vegetables you can plant in the meanwhile while you wait for next year's season.
Yes, a few things like vegetables, so I think we should so on.
Okay, so that's the idea behind it. And we're making this video to appeal to people that if they can find it in their hearts to donate something to this cause. Like I said, it's for transport, getting Raphael back. I want to take him back to Malawi if it's possible. We want to drive up, or if there's an alternative method, we will investigate that. Secondly, we need to buy him transport, pumps, irrigation pumps, and then also the most important thing is because Raphael has to make a living there, he can't do gardening. He hasn't got a business. He needs monthly contribution so he can survive for the next couple of months till after he's done his training course, till after he's got his piece of ground prepared, and till after he's planted and waited for the next rainy season. That means in August next year you can only plant.
Yes.
Okay, not the vegetables, but the big fields.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Raphael is very close to me. He's my friend, and we want to help him, and therefore we appeal to people to assist us. We're going to start a Back a Buddy campaign in South Africa. It's very similar to GoFundMe in America, but that's a South African version. And the money we're going to filter through a NGO, a well-established NGO, so that the people that donate the money will know that it goes to a legitimate, established NGO that's been around for many, many years, so they know that the money will be safe. But ultimately, the money that we gather, it's going to be to fund these things. It's not a simple exercise. It's a complex exercise. We have to plan it very well. We have to make sure that we've done our trip preparation. I have to make sure that the vehicle is good, that it can drive all the way from South Africa, through Botswana, through Zimbabwe, through Mozambique, into the south end of Malawi. Then I have to drive back also, potentially. And we'll see how that one goes. But there's a lot of preparation in doing so. If anyone wants to contribute, please support me in my cause. I have put away finances already. My brother's put away finances already, but obviously it's not going to be enough. We're just normal, regular people. I'd like to do this for my friend and give him the best possible start, to have the best chance on success, to sustainably farm and look after his wife and his grandchildren. If you have got anything to say for the people that might be potentially donating to this cause, what would you like to say to them?
I'm gonna like to say that, please, as you said, or everything about this project, yes, I'm waiting for that. Okay. But it needs to help. If you don't help me, nothing can happen.
It's not gonna happen.
We are waiting for help from those people. And then if you can help me, it's good. I will be survivor to home. And then I will never come again in South Africa, because I'm old now.
As much as we love him, as much as we like him to be with us, he cannot come back to South Africa. He needs to make a living there as he grows older. Thank you, Raphael, and I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, thank you.
As part of our journey with Raphael and the Foundations for Farming training course, I opted to take him to meet with Craig Deal, that heads up the Farming Foundations training in Africa. We went to their site in Paarl at Lebak. It's a pilot site, and we were able to see a real-life example of how the guys farm. Craig showed him the methods, and this is very important for Raphael to also buy into the principles of Foundations for Farming. He needs to believe in this course. So yeah, we had a great time, and he could see also the guys in action at the pilot site and how it works. Craig shared Patrick, the head of training in Malawi's details with him, and we were able to phone Patrick later that same afternoon, where he had a long chat with Raphael, very importantly in their own language. They could understand each other clearly, gave him all the detail that he required, and also reassured him that once he's completed the course, he would be more than capable to farm to provide for his family.